company retaliated against the revolt of 1857. The Great Rebellion, which started in May 1857 as a mutiny of the sepoys in the town of Meerut, soon erupted into civilian revolts and smaller mutinies in central India and the upper Gangetic plains. The sepoys and rebel forces greatly outnumbered the British, who lost many battles. The scale of the upheaval frightened the company, and it began to strengthen its military by bringing in men and material from England and passing new laws to convict the rebels easily. In September 1857, the company recaptured Delhi, and soon afterwards, Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar was captured and sentenced to life imprisonment. This, however, didn't bring an end to the revolt. It took close to 2 years to get the rebels under control. In March 1858, the company recaptured Lucknow, and in June the same year, Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi was killed in battle. Tantia Tope, however, ran away to the forests of central India and sustained the fight with the help from peasants and tribal leaders, but was eventually killed by the British in 1859. Hundreds of rebels, Nawabs, sepoys, kings and civilians were tried and executed by the British. By the end of 1859, the company had regained its control over India. It now thought of ways to win back the people's faith in it. Loyal landlords and rebels were given traditional rights over their lands. The company also realized that it couldn't continue ruling the country with the same set of policies, and so made the necessary changes. A new act passed by the British Parliament in 1858 transferred the ruling powers of India to the British Crown, and all matters related to the governance of India were handed over to the Secretary of the State for India, who was a member of the British Cabinet. The Secretary was also given a council known as the India Council, who advised him on important matters. The Governor-General of India was given the title of Viceroy, who was a representative of the Crown. Through all these measures, India came under the direct control of the British government. The British also annulled the policy of doctrine of lapse and recognized the right of an adopted son. Furthermore, they assured the native rulers that their territories would not be annexed in the future on the condition that they accept the British Queen as their sovereign paramount. The British held the Muslims responsible for the revolt, and so confiscated their property and treated them with hostility. The revolt also made the British respect the traditions and religions practiced in India. Moreover, they framed policies to protect the land rights of zamindars and decided to increase the proportion of European soldiers in the army. They also decided to recruit more soldiers from amongst the Sikhs, Gurkhas and Pathans instead of South India, Central India, Awadh and Bihar. Therefore, the revolt of 1857 drastically changed the outlook of the British towards Indians. They realized that they could no longer continue getting rich at the country's expense without giving back anything to it. Thus, 1857 was the beginning of a new phase in Indian history. You have now reached the end of the module on retaliation by the company. In this module, you learnt that the scale of the revolt of 1857 intimidated the company, and it decided to use all its might to repress it. The company recaptured Delhi in September 1857 and Lucknow in March 1858. Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi was killed in battle in June 1858, and Tantia Tope was killed in 1859. During the revolt of 1857, hundreds of rebels, Nawabs, Sepoys, kings and civilians were tried and executed by the British. The British regained control over India by the end of 1859, after which they introduced many new policies and made changes to their existing policies.